Today we'll talk about being traumatized versus a trauma. The way I understand it is a trauma is an event or a situation that generates survival stress energy inside of our body. It can be something that is one single event that overwhelms us, or a long, drawn-out, stressful situation. Being traumatized is a stage in the process of responding to something that our body finds threatening. Some part of us freezes or shuts down and goes into a state of collapse, okay? To be traumatized is to remain stuck in a moment of responding to that threat and not being able to give a pathway out for that survival stress energy. So picture this balloon as my body. It's flexible, it does what I want it to do. Here comes a bunch of survival stress energy. Okay, now my body's got that, it's holding on to that. It needs somewhere to go. It needs a pathway out. There are lots of reasons why we might not give it a pathway out. We might still be in danger. Or a big one is that the culture that we live in doesn't make space for the primitive actions and movements that need to take place to spend that energy. To spend that energy, it can look like crying, shaking, other involuntary movements. When we're stuck with that energy, we can end up with really urgent feelings like anxiety or rage. Or on the other hand, we can end up feeling something more like nothing. We can feel like we don't care, or numbness. The further in life we go with that energy stuck inside of us, the less that energy resembles a response to the original threat, and the more it starts to become things that Western medicine calls idiopathic, disorders, and pain. A search and rescue worker that I know, I was telling her about all this information about how our body spends the energy of being traumatized. And she said that when they pull somebody off of the mountain, a lot of the time that person's body will start to shake. They'll start to cry or have hysterical, involuntary movements. She said when they see that, they'll pin the person down and prevent them from letting those movements happen. And she said, it seems like we're preventing them from coming out of shock. I said, right, it keeps them traumatized. And so then people have all this backed up survival stress energy racing around inside their body, looking for a pathway out. Once I learned that there are ways that you can spend this energy, I started doing that for myself. That's been a whole journey. Being traumatized can feel like a life sentence. When we live with this energy backed up inside of us all day, every day, we're pushing and struggling against it. My hope is that we can find the resources, support, and courage to be able to start working with it. That's my hope for everyone.